Yes.
So let them know who you are, the name of your business, contact information, all that good stuff.
Perfect. So my name is Jessica Clairvil. I'm a notary public commission in the state of New York. My business is J3 Mobile Notary, and we primarily do R.O.N or electronic notarizations. And yeah, I'm located in Queens, New York. And you can reach me at www.j3mobilenotary.com. I'm on LinkedIn also as J3 Mobile Notary. And phone number 347-745-8766.
You heard? So, um, I got.
Oh, we lost Tiger.
I think we lost it.
That's cool. So I'm just gonna pick it up right where he left off. So as we introduce Jessica to the family, can you tell us what is your philosophy on business?
I'm fairly new to business, but I think you should make of it what you you feel is necessary to you. I know there's a lot going on how everyone should run their business, but you run it as it fits your life and your needs, and put yourself first. Make sure you give quality service, make sure you treat your customers good and with respect, and you take care of your customers. So I think for you to run your business again as you see fit. Don't listen to any outside noise.
Yeah, that's a pretty good philosophy. That's a pretty good, even if somebody is relatively new to business, like you say you are, then that philosophy may not have been developed yet, but where did you get that opinion? Where did that come from?
Um, I have a family of business owners, and um, I kind of grew up seeing that. My mom is an entrepreneur, my dad is a entrepreneur, cousins, family members. So everyone, I kind of learned that growing up. You don't listen to what's going on the outside. You take care of your business, how you run your life, and just you listen to people that have more experience than you. But again, you could take viewpoints from other people and adapt it to however it fits into your own business style or your own lifestyle. And that goes for personal and business as well. You take in everything, but apply what applies to you.
Yeah, that's something I've heard, or maybe you've heard people say, take the meat and spit out the bones.
Hmm.
You take what's
Yeah,
good, and then you take spit out the stuff that's kind of nonsense, or at least that goes in one ear out the other. Yeah,
yeah, that is
yeah.
true.
What are some of the trends that you see that's happening in the notary business?
I see a lot of push to go towards apostilles and wills and trust signings. Um, so I see a lot of that go through training and meetups, and it's a lot of people in the notary industry are big on meetups. And of course, networking is great. Excuse me, I'm still having nasal issues. Networking is great. For me, I feel like I call myself a loner. Um, so I like to,
I ain't
learn as much
alone,
as
so
I
yeah.
can. I do, but I think everything in due time, everything when it's necessary. Of course, you put yourself out there, you go and you do more things to expand your business. But I think a lot of people get caught up on just the social part of the notary industry instead of
Mm.
focusing on their individual business. Because at the end of the day, notary is like a lonely, a lonely business. It's you, and then the people that you do have around you. But um, yeah, it's a one man show sometimes. Um, so I think, develop yourself and then you go out and you hang out.
That's very interesting. You said they socialize more than they're actually concentrating on their business. Um,
Hmm.
now I know tech. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know Clubhouse was like that, right? That was just it was like a Clubhouse. They would jump on there and they just talk, 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 talk for hours. I know somebody that started their Clubhouse at 5 o'clock in the morning and they were done around like 8 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah,
Talking
so
about what?
everything notary. This I don't know how much notary stuff you could really talk about uh, that many hours, but I guess like I haven't been on Clubhouse, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, it would put in like 12 hours into this thing.
Yeah, Tiger, you have a unique perspective because you're somebody who I admire, and I just don't
Yeah.
understand how you don't follow anything that's notary related. Now, let me explain this. You're more as how can I describe it? You bring other industries into the notary industry. So you by excluding or limiting your involvement with this industry, it almost enhances the industry because you bring in so many different elements. So I'm somebody who I follow a lot of things, right? I just have to, right? I don't know why, but and I think you're right, Jessica. There is a large social aspect to it, and it could be very dangerous. It could be to the person who wants to create a business, and then they end up months or half a year, years later down the road, and they were like, "Wow, what happened? I have all these friends and all this referral network of notary friends and stuff, but I don't have any. I don't have any no business."
Yeah. Now it's good to have, of course, people to lean on. So I'm not knocking that at all. I just think that sometimes we focus too much on, the social aspect of the notary business instead of working on your business, because everyone again has different opinions on what you should do and what is the new trend to kind of do. So I do see a lot of people jump onto those trends like right away, even if it probably won't work in your area or in your own market. And it's just like it's the new thing to do, so let's go do that. But I'm the kind of person that I go against the grain a lot, and so I don't really follow what the norm is. And then of course the norm, it depends on who's saying what the norm is. So but yeah, I don't really follow what everyone else is kind of doing. I do things tailored to what benefits me and what works out for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. We all want to be friends. We all want to be cordial, and we want to be friendly to each other.
Mhm.
That that's no, we're not going to take that away from people, but there is a reason why we are here. Like, let's not forget the reason why we showed up to the party, right?
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
to just have boyfriends and girlfriends and these friendships, whatever. But it's to get married. It's to have a future and to do it. What were you like in school?
Oh, my philosophies in school is I don't have to be an A student. I just need to get the job done. So, you don't have to be perfect on everything. I was a B, of course, a B and an A student, averaging maybe a B, but I wasn't trying to be like the top of the class or the teacher's pet. So I have two degrees. I have a degree in forensic science and
Ooh, I
also
love forensic science.
yeah, it's my jam. New York is not the best market for it, but yeah, it's amazing. And I just actually completed my degree in medical. I'm a medical laboratory technologist,
Nice.
and yeah, thank you. So you know, again, in those fields, science is hard, and so you can be. I think after my first degree, I kind of realized that I'm not going to strive. No one's looking at my my GPA. I just need to pass. So when I got into medical clinical laboratory tech, I said, okay, I already have a degree. I just need to make sure I focus, learn what I need to learn, and I need to pass. I don't need to strive to be an A. I just need to be the best at where I am. And that's what I did. So I graduated. I graduated last year in May. Got my degree, and the only thing I have to do now is just sit for my state exam. And yeah, so that's what I do full time. So again, I just learned that you learn where you are, you do the best where you are. You don't have to strive to be the top. You fit in where you fit in.
It
I
seems
love
like, yeah, it seems like you have this viewpoint that it has evolved. Like, were you always that way?
No, no. I think that comes with time. That comes with just growing, maturing. You see, of course, when you're younger, you're always trying to strive to be, the best, and you're trying to strive to be. I was always a top student, but that as I got older, that wasn't really like my focus. It was just wherever I am, I'm gonna be the best where I am. I don't need to prove any. I know I'm smart. I know I'm good at whatever it is I put my mind to, and I don't need to prove that to anybody. So I stay in my lane.
I love it. Hey, uh, so Jessica, since you are our surprise guest,
Mhm.
are you up for the notary trivia challenge?
Oh man, okay. Let's go.
Yeah, this is the format of the show. Like, we go through the
Yes.
neighborhood trivia. We go through we have a guest and we talk to the guest, and then after that we go into our main topics. Have a money corner section, and then we do a pass or trash. Which I'm hoping that we could get your expertise on the pass or trash.
How long do
Okay.
we have you, Jesse? How long do we have we today?
I have a good like 30 minutes. I'm
Okay,
trying to charge my car, so I'm waiting for my turn. So I
gotcha,
have some.
gotcha. So we're gonna because there's some questions I want to ask you too about the way you approach R.O.N, which is really unique and stuff like that. But since we're here right now, we're gonna go into the notary trivia.
Okay.
My little theme music come on. All right. So let's go into the first question. A notary public can notarize a document without the signer being present. True or false?
Um, false.
Survey
Depends.
says false. Okay, we're 1 for 10. Let's go to the next question now.
Why is that
Uh,
false?
Notaries are required to keep a journal of their official acts in all 50 states.
False.
Right again. And ding, 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 ding. Next question. A notary public can refuse service if they suspect fraud.
True.
Oh, you are knocking it out the park. Ding, ding, ding.
Who trained you?
And notaries can determine if a document is legally valid.
False.
Woo! Smoke it. Hey. Next question. A notary public can notarize their own signature.
False.
My goodness. Just,
Uh,
just
it's a Steph
fast.
Curry of.
She is just fast and furious today. An expired ID can be accepted for notarization if the notary personally knows the signer.
I wanna say false.
Bomb.
Wow.
Ah, 6 for 10, 6 for 10.
These are the hard ones too.
Notaries can perform marriage ceremonies in all states.
False.
He said false, y'all. Let's go. Boom. All right, 3 more questions. We're coming to the final lap. A notary stamp or seal is required for every notarization.
False.
True.
Okay.
Official notary stamps are seals are required elements of notarizations in all states. Next
Okay.
question. Uh, Notaries can certify copies of birth certificates and other vital records.
False. And I'm saying false because I know my state I can. I don't know about other states. Okay.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, last one. Notaries must be U.S. citizens to be commissioned. This one
True.
got me.
What?
False. I know.
Okay.
That one got me. That one got me. Many states allow legal residents who are not citizens to become notaries.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and that concludes our game. You did great. So
Yay.
you got 8 out of 10. So yeah, there it is. The BA, the BA grade student right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give her a round of applause. All right. Uh, Tech, what did you think of those questions, bro?
My question, I think the questions are there's always these states that always these tiny, like Jessica, you're in New York State.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, New York, and not just New York State, but New York City, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or somewhere around. Yeah, my geography is not the best, right? But some states, listen, you don't. You could have your driver's license for like 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and like you never have to renew it. And then there's states where you got to renew it every year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is, states where we're from, there's a lot of people. A lot of people do some shady stuff. A lot of notaries do shady stuff, and the state needs to recheck you every couple years or so. Versus states like where there's like zero population. Those states, you know what we talk about, and then you know you can do something one thing and then nobody will ever hear about it. So I can understand why those two questions they can go either
Yeah.
way. Either way,
Yeah.
because some states like, do you require a notary seal on the actual document?
Mm-hmm.
I know in my
Well,
state,
see, I have
do,
a
but
question about that question because it said notarial act, right? And I know
Mhm.
some notarial acts don't require a stamp. Because if you're given like a verbal oath, that's a notarial act.
Good point. Good point.
That's what I said false.
yeah, right. And then at what small, tiny, middle of nowhere state where you can just do whatever you want, and
Yeah.
then the laws don't apply. So some questions are a little bit toss up, but I think overall, Jesse knocked it out of the park.
Yay. Thank you.
So, Jessica, so my burning question for you today is this: like, so you specialize in run, right?
Yes.
And as you know, many of the Ron platforms they're offering very low payouts to people, but you were able to do a spin where you actually go out and you got your own clients, and then you
Mhm.
utilize the Ron platform to facilitate those notarizations. Like, what made you go out and like what was the frame of mind of thinking to say like this is what I'm going to do? I'm instead of using and getting all of the work from
Mhm.
the Ron platforms, I'm going to go hunt myself, and I'm just going to use this as a conduit. What was the frame of mind of thinking when you decided to do that?
With the platform that I started with, it started off giving, I think $25 per notarization,
Oh, that was okay.
and yeah, it started off well, and
Mm-hmm.
then I think that's when they just came out, and then afterwards they decided to switch their fee structure to $5.
Mm-hmm.
And after I used to get a lot from the platform that I was using, and it worked because I have a full-time job, so I was just like, okay, like I'll get a couple extra dollars here and there. It doesn't take that long. But one specific notarization took me about 2 hours.
Wow.
and it was maybe one or two documents, and I said, this for $5 is not it. So I said, okay, let me see how I can get more business on my own. And so I typically do, the general public, and whenever someone would call me from either Google or anyone that was referred to me, I would convert them to do it electronically. So I would charge my own fee and then
Hmm.
just use the platform to perform the notarization. So my biggest turning point in mind frame was, I'm not going to spend um, more. If I have to spend more than 5 minutes, like $1 a minute on the
Hmm.
platform, and get the $5, that's crazy. So I said, it will benefit me more in getting my own clients than sitting around on the platform waiting for a job. And once it was open to more people, you don't get those jobs because you have to literally sit there and wait. So you would have to sit there and wait to get a job. You click on it and you might not get it. So it's not a guarantee that you're going to
Okay.
get anything even for the day. So if you pay for the platform also, that's, a losing situation as well.
Mm. So, Jessica, can you tilt your camera down a little bit? The guests that they can't see your wonderful, beautiful New Yorking face. Yeah,
Okay, is that okay?
yeah, much better, much better.
Let me
Um,
see if I
so, what is the average time for a run? Would
Anywhere between, I'll say 10, 15, 20 minutes the most. It just depends on the client, if how tech savvy they are. If they can log in ahead of time, then it's literally a 10-minute process. You spend most of the time just talking and going through your spiel, like asking your questions, than actually performing the notarization. You can pre-tag the documents. So if you get the document ahead of time, you tag it, and literally only thing you need to go in there and do is sign, verify their identity, ask them their questions, your required questions for your state, and then sign, and that's it. So it's pretty quick.
so since you're 10 toes down with the run, what would you say uh, is the future with Ron? Like, what do you foresee happening with the whole Ron industry culture? I'm interested in your intake on that.
I think with Ron, there is, an open possibility. I'm not sure about the real estate. Like, I know everyone, that's the biggest thing, real estate. Um, I'm not sure how that would either increase or decline um,
Hmm.
in the RON space. And I know, a big positive is that the identity verification portion. So if you can either be in contact with lawyers or, different law firms or even private just industries outside of real estate, excuse me, I think you'll do good. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, share your thoughts on here. We have Jessica Clairvil here. She specializes in Ron. She's out of the state of New York City. She has a very unique approach with the whole Ron platform. She goes out, she hunts, she gets her clients, she brings them to the Ron platform, uses it as a conduit, and gets paid significantly more than what the platform is actually paying out. So, if you guys do have any questions, please share your thoughts. Also, give a shout out to your city while you're on here, so we can give a shout out to your city because we have quite a few people on here right now. Tech, go ahead, bro.
Now, how's it been?
It's been in terms of Ron,
Yes.
I think it's been good. It's still challenging because not a lot of people, at least here in New York, are used to it. It was enacted in January of 2023. And so sometimes when my clients will call me and I'll say, hey, we could do it on Ron really quick. You could do it from your phone, a tablet, or computer. Some of them are apprehensive. Um, just kind of walking them through it a little bit with the processes. I tend to be able to convert them to do it on Ron, and kind of the way that I would do it is, hey, we can do it on Ron now, or you could wait 2, 3 days later and then we can do it. So they're kind of prefer to do it right away. So we'll do it on R.O.N. Excuse me. So it's been okay. It's been good. It's just for me, I feel like I just need to put myself out there a little bit more and get some more clients, some consistent clients.
Yeah. What similarities have you seen with the notary, mobile notary, and the R.O.N industry?
I think the documents are all the same. The clients are the same, so they're both pretty much the same. It just who whoever's just a little bit more tech savvy, you kind of get those people a little easier than getting someone that's not really tech savvy. So just the difference between mobile, you can get anybody. They don't have to be tech savvy at all. So Ron, it's just a little struggle with that aspect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, like, is there any demographics or age groups that just stay away from it?
Um, the older generation, but
Hmm.
even still, they're I've had a few people 60 have no issues coming on. So I think it just depends. We're all now, of course, living in the digital age, so
Hmm.
everyone's used to using technology. And it's just a mixed bag, honestly. It's whoever is comfortable with using a computer, or everyone has a smartphone, so you can do it right on your smartphone.
Yeah.
So I don't have too much of a pushback with that. But yeah, other than that, that's probably the only thing.
Now I know we have you for like I'm not going to hold you longer than 10 more minutes, but I have a question. Like, so what advice would you give someone that's looking into getting into the notary business and they're considering the Ron platform? What would you say?
Get a little. Try to sign up with a platform where you get clients first, just to see what the process is. Take whatever you can. If you need to get a notary friend or a family member, do a dummy session. um, it's a learning curve. So I think you need practice before you do jump off the bridge and go on and do your own clients. So get a little bit of practice, because every platform is different,
Hmm.
and you have to feel it out and see what your platform is capable of doing. So learn everything about the platform before you actually start. Do a few witnessing. You can witness for someone and see how they do. Some of the platforms allow you to be a witness, so I think that's kind of good to sign up with these platforms and be a witness to see what another notary's procedures are. And also, it gives you a feel, because you have to drop and drag your own tags as well. So it gives you a feel of of what you need to do. So be a witness, get clients from the platform, and fill it out.
Is there a platform you prefer more than others?
Um, I've used one platform and I've stuck with it so far. So I use Blue Notary. They've had a ton of updates. So in the beginning, it was kind of rough. Now it's a little smoothed out, and they're always updating and giving out new features. Sorry. And there's another one that I'm starting to use, and I like it because of the ID verification
Hmm.
and the security behind the platform. And it's called the centralized, the National Notary Centralized Verification System. It's a company in New York, a notary from New York created the platform. So I'm exploring that as well. They had a lifetime plan, and I purchased the lifetime plan. It was for $99. And so
Nice.
yeah, so the platform itself is good. Also, they only charge you right now about 250 per person. Blue Notary charges you $5 for your first signer, and then $4 for any additional signers with unlimited notarizations. So you have to take that into account as well, the fees that you have to pay. And the centralized National Notary Centralized Verification Platform, they only
Hmm.
charge you 250. So that was the lowest that I've seen. So I'm starting to like transform, you know, my business onto that platform to use them. So
you're very diligent in the way you're analyzing it. Well, I guess that's the forensic side of you.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Because you know what's funny, my daughter's in college right now. She's taking up forensic science as well.
Nice.
She wants to be a vet, but she was like,
Oh,
"Hey, you know, my plan B would be like to do forensic science." And Forensic Files is my favorite TV show ever.
it's
I'm
not like
always
that in
on
real
there.
life. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
So
I thought too.
yeah, if you guys are thinking about committing crimes, don't don't
Don't do it.
don't do it. It's not even worth it anymore. Forensic Forensic Files will have you thinking twice.
Hmm.
For real. Tech, any last questions for hey, Jessica, by the way, thank you so much for that insight. You just gave some money making tips, all kind of stuff. So yeah, shout out to you on that. By the way, you from Queens?
Yes.
Shout out to Jamaica Queens, 179th. You heard? I gotta put the horn to that. That place has a very warm place in my heart.
Mhm.
Southside Queens.
Yes,
Yeah,
outside.
go ahead, Tech.
Yeah, one question. I wanted to ask you um, two questions actually. One question I wanted to ask you, which is this is probably more of a less of a philosophical question, maybe more of a practical question, because you're a scientist and so am I. And one thing I wanted to ask you was when you do mobile notary, how has it been in person? What are your thoughts on being a notary in as a woman going into in person interacting with, because you never know what you're going to get with
Hmm.
notary with, just like you say with R.O.N, you never know what's on the other side. How has that been as a woman going in being in those environments? I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
Um, so in the area that I am, you approach things kind of you're always, you know, watching your surroundings, always vetting kind of wherever you go. So at least for me, I like to look up the address wherever I'm going. I let my fiance know where I'm going when I get there. It comes with a challenge, but I mean, I think that's going to be anywhere. You just have to, again, be aware of what's going on around you and try to be, you know, safe. People, you don't know who you're going to encounter. So it can come with challenges. I think if you prepare yourself a little bit more and you're aware of where you're going, who you're meeting. If you're doing like, you know, loans, you tend to not meet crazy people. If you are doing like a general public, um, for women, I would say meet somewhere in public if you're not comfortable with where you're going and you don't have the security measures on the back end. So if you don't have someone that you can say, hey, like here's my location, if anything happens, if they're close by, meet in a public location. That shouldn't be an yeah. And so yeah, that's all. Just prepare yourself, you know, protect yourself, and always just meet somewhere that's comfortable for you.
So you don't worry about it too much.
I don't worry about it too much. Again, if it's somewhere kind of shady, I'm not going. That's not the assignment for me.
And
So
what about,
if it mhm.
yeah, and then what about just the communications, the dealing with people? Do you find, do they give you similar, or you notice the treatment or the way that the dialogue between you and another and the client is? Do you get any of that?
Like notice a difference between either just male female
Well, let's say you,
or
because
just different types of
yeah,
people.
let's say, because you charge, you're not a cheap notary, like
No.
you're not. So sometimes the
Mhm.
intimidation is can play a factor in that, but it doesn't. That's not how it is with you, right?
Yeah.
So the confidence is one thing, but it's also the on the surface. Well, some people may be hesitant or apprehensive about you know commanding what you command.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think it's just again your own confidence in yourself and your abilities and what you will and will not tolerate. Um, it took for me, I think it took a little while to get there. In the beginning, it was doing things for hey, just $20. I'm gonna go here, and I think it comes with experience within the notary industry. You get burnt a few times, and that has happened, and so then you develop this tonality and you're just like, okay, I'm not doing this. Or you vet your own clients, and you when you're speaking to someone on the phone, you can tell if okay they're BSing you or if they're just wasting your time.
Mm.
And certain conversations if I have on the phone, I'm like, I'm not going, like I'm not going to do this assignment. I don't think I'm the notary for you. And then so everyone that I do go out to, I know that that is going to be a successful appointment. And if something happens where we can't perform the notarization, I'm not really concerned if, things are going to turn left at all. Because again, you can vet someone or know what they're about just by speaking with them on the phone. So if I hear, and it may be a New York thing, but if I hear something and it's like, oh, yeah, this is not going to be good, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that spidey sense start to tingle.
Yeah, yeah. You got to pay attention to that too. Got to pay
Hmm.
attention to that because if it doesn't feel like it's gonna be right, then don't like. It's no type of money is worth it. Don't go out and
Indeed,
do it.
indeed. So,
Hmm.
Jessica, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, I mean, like from the bottom of my heart, for pulling up. This is for you.
No
You know what I mean?
Nobody know we not
Uh, Hey, leave people your contact, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this show or you're watching it on the replay, your Instagram or LinkedIn, connect with Jessica. This will help you expand your network. You can network with a person in New York now. It looks very attractive to your clients when they know that you have other people. You could say that you have a sister company in New York City that can do these notarizations. And Ron, especially if you don't do Ron, like I don't do Ron, she does Ron. Of course, I would facilitate all my work through her. And then just mark it up high enough where you both can split the pie and then make some bread. But Jessica, hit them with your information one more time, please.
Again, thank you guys for having me on the show today. My name is Jessica Clairvil, Notary Public in New York. You can reach me on my website at www.j3mobilenotary.com. I'm also on LinkedIn as J3 Mobile Notary, or you can give me a call or a text at 347-745-8766.
And by the way, if you call it, you guys are gonna get Sabrina.
Yeah, you're
Yay!
gonna get Sabrina. Sabrina's Sabrina's been awesome. It's a learning curve for anyone that's looking to get into Sabrina. I say go ahead and do it. If you are a part-time notary, full-time notary, you're not too great on the phone, or you want to field out the spam calls, the clients that are just wasting your time. Sabrina is amazing. It's a learning curve, but once you get it and you set everything up, it works on its own. So I think everyone should do a demo on board with Sabrina. It's absolutely worth it.
Thank you so much. Tech, any last words?
I wish you could stick around for Passive Trash.
Let's do it.
Can
Oh,
you
you
do it?
oh, for
Let's do
real?
it.
All right, let's
Hmm.
go. Let's go straight to pass the trash.
All right.
Go ahead, Tech. The stage is yours, brother.
Yeah, so I'll introduce. So for those who don't know, um, Jessica, you do have a background in web design, web building.
Not like a certified or professional background, just personally because I like to know how to break something so I can fix it. So I've like played around with website building platforms.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So this isn't something that's new to you, but at the same time, Passage Trash is a segment in the show where we randomly pick out a website, notary website. We'll just Google notary in X city. We pick the first one that pops up, and we'll go through an analysis, decide if it's either it passes, meaning somebody could book an appointment, they could contact the notary, and the site is functional. And then we also give it a final pass or fail type of grade. And I would love to hear your insights on just how some of these websites look. So I'm going to share my screen, and then you will do the honors of picking the city and the location. So, what city would you like to visit today?
Let's do Georgia.
All right, what city in Georgia?
Oh, I don't even know the cities in Georgia. I don't know the cities in Georgia. Anyone?
All right, let's do
Macon.
Macon. All right. Oh, look at that. UPS store pops up first. All right, so that's the exception. So we have Walker's Law Bibb County Notary. Initial impressions, 4.8 stars, 21 reviews. Again, the number of reviews don't matter. Just they got to be 5 stars. And look at that, no website. Yikes. And then number 3 is UPS Store. And then number 4 is Lee Insurance and Notary Services. They do have a website. Is it okay? Do we want to go with Lee Notary Insurance and Notary Service?
Sure, why not?
Let's go with that. Okay. Just so you guys know, this is not practice or rehearsed. All right. Let's go with this. Oh, let's see. Is this a website? This does not look like a website. It is actually a landing page. Yeah, this we might have to pick another one. I don't see anything to get a notary. So one of the reasons why we do this, Jessica, and for people who are watching this live and on, watching this on replay, is that we want to encourage notaries to understand something. There is very little competition, and I mean that. The saturated market that you imagine exists, it doesn't really exist. This is who you compete with. Somebody who's a client, because we're acting as clients right now, we're looking for a notary in Macon, Georgia, and this is what we're getting. The UPS store is number 1. UPS store isn't a mobile, right? Let's take a mobile notary. How about that? Oh, let's take a mobile notary. Okay, we have Georgia Peach, mobile notary, no website. Again, Hannah Heath, notary, no website. You have to go all the way down to result number 4 to get a website. You guys want to go with Notary Services by Destiny Sharples? Is that okay?
Yeah, rock with it.
All right. Oh, and it's a Facebook page. You see what I mean?
Oh, hell no!
Jessica, how are there notaries out there operating without websites?
I don't know. Very traditional. A traditional way of doing things. Old school traditional way.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Where now I think a lot more people are looking for more presence. So if you have a website, they're tending to want to book and not have to speak to someone. So not everyone wants to call somebody. So having a website kind of shows what you do, and people can just click on it and book on their own time instead of having to talk to you all the time. So yeah, I think people that don't have a website, you should. It's helpful.
Yeah, I agree. How can you really say you're in business, you don't even have the basic storefront of a website. All right, we have making live services, live scan services. Let's see. They say they have a website here. Let's click on our website. Okay, here we go. This is a fingerprinting. This isn't notary necessarily. So this is not notary. Fingerprinting is not, there's some similarities, but it's not notary. It's not the same thing. So if you live in, this is an opportunity for you. This may look on the surface like a bad thing, but there's opportunity in every disaster. This is an opportunity for you to. This is how easy it is to take over a city like Macon. Okay, we have certified Georgia Notary LLC. We're just going down the list here, by the way, people. Let's go. Let's click on this website. 3 reviews, 5 stars. Very good. Click on the website, and the website doesn't exist. That's strike 8.
Oh man.
All right. So we're just going to keep scrolling down the list. We have Peach State Notary. How about let's go over here. Peach State Notary. Okay, here we go. All right, your initial impressions, Jessica?
They have the booking. Is that a booking? Because it's kind of small on my screen.
Yes.
What does the orange box say? Okay, they have booking right in front. They have their logo, Peach State Notary Service. So it's okay so far.
All right, let's click on the link, and it takes us to. So the button says book appointment. We click on book appointment, and then it takes us to an about me section.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is it good to start off your relationship with the customer lying?
No.
That's not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
If you were a customer and you needed a notary in Macon, and you went to this website and it said book appointment, and then you could not book appointment, that would be a bad thing. Mm-hmm. However, there's this link a button that says send us an email.
So it's not really booking an appointment.
It's not. So my email just pops up. Now there's a nice picture here, and very inviting, very welcoming. There's like a description here. There's a list of services: loan signing, our favorite word, general notary, trust delivery. So, there's a, like you have degrees. People want to list up the degrees, but you said something interesting. You said how the degrees after your first degree, what happened? You said something. You remember what you said?
Oh, it doesn't matter what your grade point is. You just need to pass.
Yeah, I think I think there's similarity here where people, they want to list up their accomplishments or what, sort of what they do, but the skill, like the people just, it's the skill that really is going to help them get the client. So we have a list of certifications. We have every reason to get this person to to help us, but we can't actually book them without sending an email. And when do people respond to emails?
Probably like a day later, hours or days later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a Gmail account at the bottom, a Gmail. All right, so it's a one-page website. Looks like it.
Any phone number on there?
There is a phone number.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we typically call these people too. We won't do it today, but in our private service, in the Sabrina network, we have sessions where we actually call, and we don't do it to humiliate people, right? We're not doing this to humiliate people or to disparage them at all. this is really educational purposes, and also to demonstrate or to encourage people to, have a standard. Number one, if you expect your clients to approach you and to take you serious, then your clients also, want to also be, do business with a serious operation. You know, so yeah, there's a phone number here, and there's a contact us. Overall, it took us, longer than I expected to find a notary in this particular city, but this happens all over the place. This is something that we've done a number of times in different parts of the country. And Jessica, you said something interesting about the, it's kind of old school. People are like their first account that we looked up where they didn't have a website at all. How the notary industry is looked at as something that's really outdated, and it's really begging for some updating. And people operate without websites, and that's sort of been the usual. That's been the ordinary. And you can quickly get left behind if that's how you operate.
So what would you rate this? Is it a pass or trash?
Man, it's hard. I don't know, man.
Well, Jessica, what would you say?
I would say trash. We need to book you right away. Don't mean to be harsh. It's a very beautiful website.
Definitely, I agree. It's a trash. No booking apparatus. Definitely nothing about pricing. They did have a phone number. There was a button to contact them. So we always look at functionalities. The website has to work. If otherwise, our clients who are always on a time-sensitive schedule, we always treat our clients like urgent VIP clients. And if they can't accomplish what they came to accomplish, then it's a failure. So I think that would be a trash. Basuda, it's trash day, Tiger. It's trash day.
Yeah, and I'll say this, man. If you take this personal, like, that's your hang up. We're bringing this to you guys for you to elevate and take it to that next level, putting your best foot forward. Maybe you didn't notice that your website has some of these problems. Maybe you didn't notice that you were letting money slip through the cracks on your website. So if you're taking it personal, go fuck yourself. We're here to help. And the information may not come seasoned with sugar and spices. It might come a little bit rough sometimes. I need tough love. I don't know about you guys, but I need tough love. If somebody tells me, hey, look, dude, you're not doing great with your finances, you're a little bit frivolous, stop all the buffoonery, I'm going to take charge of that, right? You got to own that, man. We can't just be so apologetic all the time. But yeah, you got 3 trash, old girl. Fix those problems. We want to see you succeed. That's the thing. We want to see you shining. Look who your competition is around your corner. This dude website led to an insurance company. One led to a Facebook page. Another one didn't even exist. Like, you had an actual website. Make those small little tweaks so when people do find you, they book you immediately and they're not looking for other people. We want you to remove the friction from your website. So I'm done. Jesse, I know we ran over time on that. You probably got to go. She's already given the hand signals. Like, hold on, man. Look, this TV station is mine right now. I'm holding this down.
Yes, guys. So, thank you so much for having me. Again, everyone, Sabrina is great. Get in contact, get a demo. Use Sabrina. It's going to help.
Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Jessica Clairvil for being on the show, ladies and gentlemen. See you later, alligator. Tech.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. I'm so glad Jessie was able to join on here, man. She gave some powerful insights, bro. I hope people took notice of that, and you know, she even dropped gems on preferred platforms, people that she rock with. Um, she gave you the fees, the pricing, and everything like that. Amazing. What do you think?
Powerhouse, man. Yeah, Jessica's a real powerhouse. She's definitely she said herself that she wasn't as experienced in this business, but to be honest, she has all the qualities of somebody who can be successful in this business. I have no doubt in my mind.
Indeed.
I mean that. Yeah, I really mean that. And with the passive trash thing, Sabrina, like Jessica mentioned, Sabrina offers an optimized plug-and-play website. So with the built-in payment gateway and the automated calendar, so you're always ready to close these deals. And Jessica has done a great job operating her business off of Sabrina backbone. So if you're ready to upgrade, let's make that happen. Definitely schedule a demo.
Yeah, bro. So today, bro, we're going to be talking about the 10 high-powered ways to increase mobile notary sales. Like one of my favorite subjects. Taking a very skinny deal and making it lucrative, right? Giving it some weight, giving it some Ovaltine, some creatine, feeding it something to get chunky. And we're able to do that with some actionable ways. So you guys are going to be learning 10 high-powered ways to increase your mobile notary sales. And plus, we're going to give you some fast, actionable steps to execute right away. So let's get started with the first one. Partner with local law firms. Actionable steps. Visit 3 local law firms weekly. Now, here's the thing. The goal is to achieve $1,000 a day. And it really isn't difficult. It's only difficult if you make it difficult. I'll repeat that. It's only difficult if you make it difficult, and it all starts in your mind. If you say, this is going to be a hard thing to do, I have to do this, I have to do that, you're going to make it very tough on yourself. But if you say to yourself, this is simple, all I got to do is walk in there. Yeah, go ahead, Attack. All I got to do is go over there and just introduce myself and drop off a couple of branded brochures. I have a video on how to do brochures and why brochures are far better than business cards. It annihilates business cards because you can put testimonials on brochures. You can put coupons on brochures. Oh, and then with the beautiful Canva, you can design a wonderful trifold brochure and have them print it and deliver it to your house all in your pajamas. So visit 3 local law firm offices weekly until you land one, right? I guarantee you your pitch will be refined by the time you get to the 6th or 7th one. Bring a branded brochure with you and then pay attention to this, offer an on-demand power of attorney and real estate document service. An on-demand power of attorney real estate document service. So they call you or they book an appointment with you. You can either go out to the office or you can go visit their clients personally. See, it's all about the way you frame your notary business. If you frame it as a top tier, I'm on the 52nd floor in the Willis Tower or Empire State Building, that's how they're going to treat your business. But if you treat it like, low level, just like like just a random ass business, they're going to treat it like a cheap old business, and you won't be able to demand premium dollars for it. Tech, you want to chime in on number one?
Oh no, that's it, man. That's good enough. I would co-sign everything that you said. I agree.
Okay, let's go to number two. Number two is get listed on Google Business Profile. This is like, in my opinion, elementary at this point. This is something that every notary should have. In the Google Business Profile, again, it's the number one search engine in there, and it helps out so many businesses and every course in thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars has been funded for these Google Business Profiles. Set up so the actionable step would be set up and optimize your profile today. Upload real photos, reviews, and service areas, and ask 3 past clients to review. If you know that they're going to give you a 5-star review, okay, bye-bye. If you know that they're going to give you a 5-star review, go ahead and ask them to review your Google profile. Tech?
Yeah, this is a reason why it's number two. And there's a point in time, you say that this is obvious, but there was a point in time where not many people had Google business profiles. I know that's hard to believe, but there was a time not that long ago where most notary publics who were predominantly loan signing agents, this is an historical aspect that I'm giving you right now. Most notaries were not listed on Google My Business back then, Google Business Profile now. This is something that's relatively new. This is why you see a lot of people who still don't have Google Business Profiles, because they were heavily relying upon a Snapdocs profile or a business dot site listing or some type of notary directory. It was all they needed. All they did was rely upon signing services. So they didn't need it. They didn't see the need for a Google Business Profile. But this is something that today you can't operate without it. Even so much that the verification process has changed. They've cracked down a lot, haven't they? You need to actually have a physical location, and sometimes, especially as us as mobile notaries, we don't have physical locations. So sometimes Google will require you to have a physical location, or at least to demonstrate that you have some marketing or promotional materials in order for them to create a profile for you. So if you try to open up a Google Business Profile, I would do it immediately. If you don't have one, do it immediately right now.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Let's go into the third one. Use QR codes on everything. On everything. Use QR codes on everything. So I love QR codes. In the beginning, like I would say like 4 or 5 years ago, I wasn't too far into it. I was like, this is just going to be a fad. There's no way people are going to gravitate towards these QR codes like that. Man, was I wrong. So today, people just scan their QR code and take them directly to the designated part of the site. So actionable tip, and Canva has a QR code creator. Just go to the app section, and then you can select a QR code. There used to be a time when QR codes was like just hitting the internet, that you had to pay for websites to create QR codes. Do you remember that, Tech?
No. Wow.
Yeah, there was a time you would have to pay to create QR codes. Now you could just create QR codes as you want. Wow. So create a QR code link to your booking page. Add it to your car magnet, because I know there are notaries out there that have car magnets. if you have branded shirts, add it to your shirt, add it to your invoices. I'll even add it to my emails, and then you can add it to your flyers. Bonus, add a scan to book me now message. What do you say on that, Tech?
Yeah, I like the last bullet point. Scan to book me now. See, if that last website you reviewed had a QR code that says scan to book me now, then maybe they passed.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, collaborate with funeral homes. Now, again, the goal is to get you guys to $1,000 a day. This ain't something that you'll have to constantly always do. You really need only a handful of really good clients, corporate clients, preferably, because they have steady work for you. But I always recommend that you learn to hunt yourself. But you are hunting in this process. The only thing is that you are setting up corporate clients to have that consistent cash flow coming in. Tech, you want to take it right there?
Yeah, I don't do too much of the drop-offs. However, I have done it before, so we are not speaking from inexperience, just speaking from experience. This is something that I would do maybe once, and when I do it, I would do it very effectively. This is not something that I would do on a weekly basis unless I had some type of personal, not professional, personal relationship with the funeral directors and funeral owners.
Yeah, so actionable steps would be drop off flyers and talk to directors about notarizing power of attorneys, wills, etc. And then offer quick availability and same day service. Same day service is a huge one, especially if you can add expedited service to that. So let's go into number 5. Number 5 is use Instagram Reels to teach and sell. Actionable step would be to record 30-second tips like 3 things you should know about notarizing a power of attorney. Add captions, call to action, DM me to book me. Now, I wouldn't say that Instagram is the best place for you to get notary customers. I would say Instagram, Facebook, places like that would be the best place for you to get notaries to partner up with. Tech?
Yeah, Instagram is a good place to get practice when you are doing your pitch, or at least figure out what's the temperature. So I would ask other notaries on this is what I would do. I would go on Instagram and I would ask other notaries what they did not know about notarizing, or I would give an opinion about notarizing the power of attorney, and then kind of gauge the response. And that's how I would use it. But if you're selling on Instagram, then you know, keep in mind how Instagram functions. It helps you. You know, it's a social media app platform, so you can definitely get some attention. You can definitely get some eyes. I've to this date, I've gotten 2 appointments from Instagram, and I wasn't even trying. So, but you get an A for effort. So just participation alone puts you ahead of 99% of the people. Just have your expectations in order. You know, don't expect to have your notary company blow up just because you put up one Instagram reel. So, but just by speaking on camera and showing your face, people are definitely afraid of that. And if you just do it, you get an A automatically from me in my book.
Good point, bro. All right, so we're at halfway mark here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to SabrinaAI. This portion of the Notary Insights show has been brought to you by SabrinaAI. Answer, book, and grow. Have Sabrina answer your phone calls, book your appointments into your schedule, and then continue to grow your business without all the heavy work. Let's go into number 6. Offer a VIP rush fee service. I love this one.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. I love this one. So this one, the actionable step is add a 2-hour or less emergency option with a higher fee. I would call mine's rapid response or expedited service. You could play around with the name. Then the next actionable step would be mark it as when it absolutely, positively must be notarized today. Talk on it, Tech.
So this is the default appointment for all of my notary appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets this. This is what I assume you called me for. Mm-hmm. You want it done today, don't you?
Right.
Like right now, don't you? Okay, so I immediately tag every client with this because every client, even though they may not present it as such, they want you to come right this very moment. Now I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about psychology. So when you approach every client that way, although they may not specifically say that, then they can sense that you want to help them right away. And it's up to them to tell you, no, we actually just call them for about next week. But treat them as if they are VIP and it's a rush service.
Mm-hmm.
This will help you get to that $1,000 a day faster.
Number 7, create an affiliate program. Actionable step, pay referral bonuses to clients who send you clients. Use a simple spreadsheet or link generator to track it. Now, this may be a little bit technical, but you don't. Again, you do not have to complicate it. You can, heck, when I was working at the window business, right, he would create fake money, right, and every person that we sold the windows to, they would get about 2 of these cards, right, and it would be get $100 for every referral. Now, mind you, every ticket sale was $10,000 and up, so that was the price margin. What's $100 for a $10,000-$15,000 deal? So they would keep that little money thing, and I remember going to some customers' houses that, like, repeat customers, they would actually have it on their refrigerator, and they would actually use that. It was a creative way. It didn't cost much. It didn't have to get real technical with it, where you're sending out affiliate links and stuff like that. But you could get creative with it and go to Canva, create some fake money with your notary business on there with the QR code branded. These are things. This is the marketing aspect of your business. You're using the marketing to attract new customers, and you're also helping out existing customers if they ever want to book you again or make a little extra change just by referring somebody. What do you say, Tech?
Yeah, I just know most people are not going to do this one. But this is
I think the creative ones are.
Well,
I think this would be extremely fun for them.
It's a great one. This is fantastic. Create an affiliate program. I just know most people are not going to do it.
Yeah, most people aren't going to do it.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. So you want to stand out, don't you? You want to. Everybody's professional. Everybody's experienced. Everybody's attention to detail. Everybody does that. You saying that you are professional, experienced, and you're on time, you're punctual. Everybody says that. Know what they don't say? We have an affiliate program.
Yeah.
It's out of the norm. It's left wing.
Be different. You want to stand out, don't you? You want to, what sets yourself apart? People always say, well, what sets you apart? Well, this sets us apart. We have an affiliate program. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? You book an appointment with us, you can actually make some money. Who else? Let me ask you something. You're a gas company. You guys dig trenches. You guys need permits to put pipes into the ground. How many other companies need these documents to be notarized? Well, I can think of about 3 or 4. Fantastic. Let them know when they need to notarize. You know where to go, so tell them where to go. Next time somebody books, your appointment's free. Your appointment's $10 off. Your appointment $5 off. Whatever it is, like you say, create your own money. So I just know most people are not going to do this. Most notaries, they're not going to do this. But this is an excellent tip right here.
Yeah, I if you're creative and you're on Canva a lot and you like creating stuff, man, create some fake money. Create some fake money that brands your company, has that QR code. Heck, even on the other side, Tech, I would put testimonials on it, bro.
Wow.
I would treat it like I literally would treat it like the trifold brochure, and I would put the QR codes, the brand, the notary brand on there, the phone number, the QR code, and then on the backside it would have customer testimonials, bro, just to really sweeten the deal. And then they know, like, hey, like I'd give out, and the wonderful thing is I'm giving something tangible to a customer that I actually went to go see. So this is something that they can touch. They can flicker around, hear the sounds of it. And that plays a role because the notary stuff is really intangible, right? They're providing the paperwork for you. You're stamping that's it. They can't touch or do anything with your stamp, possibly smudge the ink off of it, but that's about it. But the fact that you can leave something behind well after you're gone, whether it's I know people that create magnets, right? They'll create a notary magnet. Heck, insurance companies would wish me happy birthday with a birthday card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they understood that that's something tangible. Direct marketing isn't dead. There's a science behind that because it's something that people can touch, they can see, they can smell. Depending on the message, it can get them excited or it can make them fearful. So it's just something to keep in mind, you guys. Number 8. Number 8 is use SabrinaAI for missed calls. Actionable step. Well, first, book a demo, right? With SabrinaAI. Let me put that QR code on there for you guys. You guys need to book a demo. And then, set up a SabrinaAI to answer your calls when you're not with a client, as Tech would say, on the toilet, in the shower, just indisposed where you cannot answer the phone. Make sure you're not missing any of these opportunities. Every opportunity comes with a shelf life. You may think that, oh, I just missed a call. Heck, it was just $100 that I would have made on that deal. But you're not looking at the long term. That one client can possibly be a client for you for the next 4 years of your commission. That one call you missed may be a corporate client. That one call you missed may have referred 5, 6 different people to you. So it's never just $100 or $150, $200 deal. You work that deal, it can bring you thousands of dollars. Second one will be let it handle your bookings. FAQ questions, for those that don't know what FAQ is, it's frequently asked questions, and follow up 24/7. Tech, you want to add?
There's just too many examples I can give. I mean, I can't. We can talk about this all day. I'm glad after 4 years, people are finally starting to catch on. It makes me happy. This was the plan the whole time, was for people to update themselves. You miss a call, first of all, it costs you money to miss phone calls. I don't know if you knew that or not. It costs money, so you're already in the hole by you missing a call. You're down $8 on average by missing a phone call. Let's just say, for example, you did get the phone call and then you were able to get an appointment. Good. If you missed that phone call, not only did you miss out on the opportunity to get an appointment, but you missed out on our opportunity, like you said, to develop a lifelong relationship with this person. I'll tell you what happened yesterday. There's a biometric company that called yesterday. I missed it. I didn't answer the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to open up my Sabrina account and I looked at the number. I was like, okay, they didn't book an appointment. You know what? I feel like hunting today. I feel like pulling out the spear. I'm gonna go chase. And all I did was call him up, and I didn't ask him. I didn't say, "Hey, this is Tech from Golden Stamp Notary. I see that you missed a call. I'm gonna follow up with you. How can we help you?" I didn't say anything like that. Because I use Sabrina, I know why they called. I picked up the phone and I said, "What are you trying to sign?" I swear, that was the first thing I said. "What are you trying to sign?"
Mm.
She said, she paused for a second, and she said, "Oh, my account manager from accounting wants to sign a statement letter because yesterday was tax day. I wants to sign a statement letter and get it notarized." I said, "Where is your office?" They're like, "Oh, we're in Oakland." Okay. What type of identification does your account manager have? I think they have a passport, you know? Okay, all right. And it sounded like they were driving. So, and she said, "Well, I've never done this before. And I just wanted to call to see if we could, what's the process for getting an appointment?" Right. I can hear that she was driving. And I said, "Okay, is this your cell phone?" Because obviously I know it's not their office phone, even though I knew it was a company. But I was like, "Is this your cell phone number? That ends in 1234?" He goes, "Yeah, it's my cell phone." Okay. In a moment, you're going to get a text message from Sabrina. Click the link. We see appointments as late as 8 p.m. Whatever time worked for your account manager, you know, either in the next half hour or, because we require a 30-minute lead time, or they can do it as late as 8 p.m. and book the appointment. Class dismissed.
Mm. Hey, Tech. So we got a question from Trustee Bowden. Says on Instagram. So I have my license from New York State already. The business email is up and running. Is the next steps? I guess you're saying, what is the next steps? I'm confused on.
The next step: set up the Google business profile, and once the phone rings, answer it, pick it up, but don't just pick it up. Know what to say. Say something like what I just replay back what we just said, and I'll say it again for those people who are on here live and you're not going to watch the replay. But if you're going to watch the replay, you're going to hear it again. All right. Who is signing the document? That's one question. Second question: where are you? These are open-ended questions. By the way, what type of identification do you have? So those three questions. Master those three questions. That's your next step. Who is signing the document? Where are you, or where are they? What type of identification do they have? What type of identification do you have? Those three questions, open-ended questions. And then once they answer, once you can confirm that you can get to them because they or the location, you understand that they have a driver's license, passport, ID card because it's not expired, and you know who's going to be there or how many people, number of signatures. All right, that's going to give you. All right, I'm going to charge this person $178. I'm going to charge this person 117, 148, 139, whatever the price is to get this done. And then today we can do it at 2:30. We have 3:30 or 5. Which would you like? If you don't have automation set up, then you're gonna have to get an invoice or a payment processor. If you have automation set up like Sabrina, how we teach you, then you just send them a link and it takes care of everything. One finger, bam. If you don't have that, then you got to do it the old school way. You have to get their email address. Hopefully they don't have a thick accent. Hopefully you have a pencil and paper with you. And then you have to send them an invoice. And then hopefully they pay it. Hopefully they don't see that they don't mistrust you, right? But we have a professional appearance. We have a business email. We have a business website. You send them a link. Everything is systematic. People are less likely to think that you are lying to them. You see how that works? You give the impression of a professional organization. That's why there's no problem charging people $300 for one signature. See, here's the thing. We can teach you how to get $200 for one signature. It's perfectly legal. We can teach you how to do that.
I'll even say this, Tech, which is a great question, Trustee Bobin. Again, this business is about perception. It's what people see, hear, feel, the confidence that exudes from the phone, the professionalism. It is so important that it looks like it's wearing a Tom Ford suit. Now, everybody else in the organization could be in sweatpants and sneakers and, T-shirts, graphic T-shirts and stuff. But the face of the company, which would be your website, which would be the way you answer the phone, which would be your online presence, that has to look like you are wearing the most expensive suit on the planet. So if you do the Google business, which me and Tech highly recommend, that should be like entry level at this point. Do the Google business, but make sure it's looking world class, even if you are operating locally. If you're go ahead and sign up to Bing business. A lot of people sleep on Bing. Make sure it looks first class. You sign up on Yelp, make sure it's first class. I don't care if it's Craigslist. You make sure it looks first class. The way you answer your phone, extremely important. If you don't have Sabrina and you're going to be answering the phone manually, make sure you have a professional greeting. Make sure it sounds like people are calling the Ritz-Carlton. Like, we're not playing over here, y'all. Let's stop treating things like, like it ain't worth nothing. Treat it like you would treat those expensive ass Jordans that you would like. I know, like, I don't buy Jordans anymore, but when I did buy Jordans, yeah, I felt a certain way. The swag was up a couple of notches. It felt good to have like $175, $200 pair of sneakers on the feet, just kicking around. The same way Louis Vuitton red bottom shoes make people feel. That is the energy that you want to project to people that look at your business. And that's what's going to allow you to demand the premium prices that you do. It's how you make them feel. It's how they feel confident that this is going to get done. I made the call. I booked the appointment. It's going to get done. That's this business.
I'm trying to get my grass cut in the backyard, and the lawn guy, his wife picked up the phone, and she sounded like she was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And she handed the phone to him, and then he maybe could come out today, tomorrow, maybe gave me a confirmation about Monday, Tuesday. And guess what happened on Monday, Tuesday? Never
No
came.
show.
No show. No show. And
yeah.
then, can you text me your address? Can you text me your name? Text me your, like, text. Man, all right. If that's how you want to do it, then I should, because I'm prepared to spend money with you. I'm prepared to, like, my backyard needs a spring freshen up. I'm prepared to spend some money with you. But if that's how you're going to approach, and this is exactly how people look at you in your notary business, if that's how
and
you
that's
want to play it,
unacceptable.
I should be able to lowball you then. I should be able to name my own price if that's the case. I shouldn't pay. I'm prepared to pay you, but I shouldn't. I should be able to name my own price.
You know how many contractors out here in this world that are getting paid thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and they're doing business exactly like that lawn care people that you called? That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. These people are about to drop thousands of dollars on you, and you're like, hold on, let me find a pen. Yeah, it's like borderline disrespectful. No automation, no confirmation. They give you this huge window of when the person is supposed to come out. It'll be anywhere from 8 in the morning to 3 p.m. Like they're Verizon Wireless or something.
And that's a
They're
maybe.
coming to,
It's a maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And they're never on time. That is unacceptable. And then they want to know why a company like Four Seasons is getting the money that they demand.
Right.
Okay. The choice is yours, my dude. Let's go on to number 9. Bundle your services. This is another one of my favorite. Offer estate planning notary bundles, loan package bundles. I didn't put it on here, but I should have. My power of attorney notary bundle. Market them as time-saving and value-packed options.
I'm about to take a call.
Okay. So bundling your service is a wonderful way of turning a skinny deal into a very profitable deal. When a person would call me and say, hey, I'm looking to get a medical power of attorney, instantly I say, or think in my mind, this person is most likely going to need a financial power of attorney. So I make that offer. I was like, is that something that you guys will be looking at as well? Sometimes all you guys have to do is ask. Just ask. Politely ask. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to have to get some financial things in order. Well, do you also have real estate? Yes, we do. Have you considered a TODI? What is a TODI? A transfer of death instrument. You may need it, you may not need it, but I want to be able to service you the best way I can. Instead of saying, man, my notary didn't say anything like this. It's just something for you to explore. You don't know about it? Here's the website. You can look it up so you can see exactly what a TODI is used for. And you provide resources for them. You provide value to them, even if there's a possibility they do not book your services. I guarantee you, okay. Here's the thing. This is the way I look at the notary business. I look at every customer that calls me, I must be the headliner, not the opening act. If you call me first, It's like calling Jay-Z to do a concert. It's like calling Beyonce to do a concert, Michael Jackson to do a concert. Those people they're not opening acts. Like, we shut down the show. And the way we shut down the show is you provide so much value, you provide so much impeccable service to that client that they will feel foolish not to go with you. And if they do decide to call around, as some of them would say, I'm going to call around, everybody else looks like the opening act. Everyone else looks subpar, like they're playing miniature golf instead of playing real golf. I want you guys to start looking at your business as the Rolls Royce of businesses. Because I guarantee you, if you don't see your business as first class, world class like that, it's going to be very hard for you to convey the message to your customers that that's what your business is. If you're never late at an appointment, that is huge. We have a 99%. I used to put, we have a 99% on time. It was like, I use some other word, but like on time rate. Like, we would get there like 99% of the time on time. That's something that you could put on your website. That's something that you could put on your brochures. That's something that you could put on your play money for your referrals. You're not giving windows. Well, we'll be here between anywhere from 11 to 1 o'clock. You're not doing windows like that. You're giving people precise times. And if you are really good at showing up at those times, let it be known. Let's go into number 10. Number 10, create a referral partnership with process servers or paralegals, or both. Actionable step, reach out on LinkedIn or on local Facebook business groups. Offer to cross-refer clients and create a mutually beneficial workflow. Again, you could do a referral thing. I've worked with many paralegals. I know tech use many paralegals as well. They need documents created. Boom. You are now a resource hub, right? You are a practice, a notary practice, like a law firm. You're a notary firm. Come on, let's elevate the consciousness of the type of business that you're running. Tech, you want to take?
Yeah. Again, this is something that most notaries aren't going to do. They're just not going to do it. But this is what's going to separate you from the person who's number 3 or number 4 on the Google rankings. This is instantly how to set yourself apart right here. Most notaries are not going to do this. Now, if you decide to do it, how would you implement it? So, in real life, here's how I implement it. First of all, the question, why do I even need a paralegal? Why would this even be beneficial to me? You might be asking yourself that question. Here's the answer. When somebody calls you and they say, like what just happened just now, somebody calls you and say, my husband is in the Kaiser, which is a hospital here. My husband is in the hospital right now, and I want to call just to see how much you charge. What's your response? See, you might not know what to say, and you might be quick to quote something that's in the notary handbook, like, see how I'm not sure because I didn't expect that question. And then I'll say it's $5 per signature and I charge $20 per travel. Wrong. That's never how you should answer that question. Here's what I did. What city is the hospital located in? They asked me a question, how much do I charge? I didn't answer it. Instead, I go into my systematic process. What city is your husband located in? What city is the hospital located? What facility, what medical facility is located? There's a million different ways to answer that question. So they say Miami, Oakland, Philadelphia, Austin, whatever the city is. Is your husband the only person signing the document? Yes. Oh, well, actually, I'm his wife, so I'm going to be signing it too. Okay, so you and your husband both. Great. Is your husband verbal? You see, I'm asking all these questions. Will we be able to access your husband? Can we talk to him? Is he the person requesting this document? Great. What type of identification do you both have? Both got a driver's license, passport. Oh, by the way, is the form already prepared? What form? See, that's why you need a paralegal. You say, well, the form that your husband signed. Well, the doctor told me that we would need a advanced healthcare directive. Did they provide you with that? No, they said that we can deal with. Okay, so you need us to prepare you a power of attorney or an advanced healthcare directive. Yes, and I want to know how much you charge. You see, the first question was how much you charge, but really, you see, the real question wasn't how much you charge. That's why you never answer that question, because you don't even know what they have. How are you going to answer a question and they don't even tell you what they have? You don't know what to charge them. The real question was you need an advanced healthcare directive. So here's our next step. Our paralegal team is going to reach out to you in about 2 minutes. What's your name? Diana. Okay. Is this your phone number, Diana? Ends with 1234. Okay, great. All right. Our paralegal team, we're going to reach out to you and discuss the next steps. You team with a legal assistant or paralegal, then you can. Now, me, I book the appointment. I tell the paralegal, people call us about advanced healthcare directives all the time. People call us about power of attorneys all the time. The next time somebody calls, can I send them to you? Well, sure. This is how you approach a law firm or a paralegal. You say, next time somebody calls me about advanced healthcare directive, can I call you? Sure. Okay. About how much do you charge for that service? Oh, anywhere from $300 to $800. Okay. I'll book the appointment and I will refer that client to you. I'll have all the information, all the names, the details, anything specific that you need. Well, I'll probably need their name, probably need if they have any property. They'll have a whole list of questions. Okay, I'll gather all that information. I'll collect the payment, and then I'll pay you what your rate is, and then we'll get paid what we normally charge. And then you go from there. So I refer that client who just called me to a paralegal. I collect the payment, I set the appointment up, and then not the appointment, I set up the time when the paralegal is going to reach out to them, and then it goes from there. Like I said, most notaries are not going to do that. But do you see how that separates you from, as a full service notary provider, from the person who just does this, they do it as a favor?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say.
So bonus, get creative and make more offers. My wife always says, closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't ask, you will not receive. That's biblical, yo. You have to ask. Go to that law firm. Go to that nursing home. Go to the title company. Ask for business. If you pass a nursing home every day, leaving your job to go home or picking up your kids from daycare or whatever, wherever you're going, between you and McDonald's or whatever, you owe it to your business to just walk in there, introduce yourself, and drop off some literature that can help your business. You at least owe that to your business. Just make more offers. You will refine your communication method as you go along, but you have to get out there. So these are things that doesn't require a lot of money. We didn't talk about ads. Of course, you can go into ads. Tech is a master at that. So you can go into advertising and stuff like that. But we know people, and there are people in our Sabrina community that earn well over $20,000-$30,000 a month with no advertising, because they put in the work to build these relationships with people. That's the gist of this thing, is building relationships with your customer, with your corporate clients, with your private clients, with paralegals, with process servers. It's building. We're entering an era where AI is going to be doing a lot of the talking, a lot of the content filling, emails and stuff like that. Personal connection is going to be it's going to be so desirable. Personal communication, a phone call here and there, a personalized text, not one of these marketing texts, but a personalized text. The human connection will always be there. Use AI, but also don't forget that we're human beings. We need human connection. Connect with people. That's vital. You guys, definitely, if you have not booked a demo with Sabrina, book a demo with Sabrina today. The worst that will come out, you would come out of that demo with some actionable things to do in your business. No purchase necessary. Book a demo. She will answer your calls. She will book your appointments, and it gives you room to grow because you're not doing all of the heavy lifting. Tech?
Nope, that's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we want to thank you guys for being on the show. Watch the replay. We had Jessica Clairvil from Queens, New York. Shout out to Queens. She gave some excellent insight on R.O.N and how she approaches R.O.N, how she gets her clients and platforms that she prefers and price range. It's like she gave a lot. Tech, as always, bro, you bring so much value to the show. This week we didn't get to do the money corner, but we will pick up where we left off with the money corner next week. Tune in every Wednesday. We bring the heat, the fire, no fluff, none of that. We want to make sure that you guys are running at top level. First class service. World-class service, Black excellence.
Yeah, it's a new generation of notaries, man. This ain't your grandmother's or your father's notary industry. This is completely different. We're not just talking about how to assign your name here and put your name there. That's not what we talk about. We talk about how to get clients, how to be in this for the long run.
Indeed. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and happiness to you guys. We wish you the very best. Hope you make a lot of money, and see you next Wednesday.
As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming.
That's where Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients, comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch.
This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent, professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands, so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls.
Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.